want to make sure you're in tune with the right vibes here. This show may well contain puerile, infantile, male adult humor. It's not a contradiction, and is perhaps not best suited to the easily offended. So we'll just say that right now, and I'll scroll that from time to time so that you're in the right place. We can have a bit of fun. Our intention not to offend anybody, but like I say on my screen there, we're the new best mates you never wanted. Men of a particular age, expats in Portugal, feeling the vibe, challenging the stereotype, because I think the existing stereotype, and you might have something to say about this, is the golf playing Algarvian expat, perhaps with ironed shorts, white socks and sandals, who plays golf. And nothing wrong with that. Not knocking it, but it's not us. We are a different new, I don't know, second generation, Generation X of the expats or whatever. Generation Expat, perhaps. Generation Expat with a new, or Generation Z-Pat. Generation Cowpat, I don't know. But just the distinction is there that we are a little bit different to the stereotypical view, and I'm sure new stereotypes will form. Rocking the Gaz Bar, says Neil. That is the theme tune, obviously. Neil. The Expat Man Cave. I hope you're going to join us one of these nights, Neil, if not tonight. Lots to get through. The Expat Sport Report is dead. Long live the Expat Man Cave. So should we raise our glasses and ask the first question of the evening? What are you drinking, Frank? And what are you drinking, Gary?
Go ahead, Gary. Give it to them.
I'm bargain basement, and I'm going to mention that word. It's little. It's little. It's very cheap, but quite tasty, and it's okay. It's okay with me. Oh, looks like
you said. Oh, you swine! The dog's in the man cave. Look, the lights are falling in.
Oh, Jesus!
This is. Oh, now the light's gone off.
Oh!
And I thought it was me with technical problems.
Oh!
Man's best friend.
5 minutes into the first show, and we've got disaster. This is a good omen, I tell you, boys. This is a very good omen.
All right, so Gary's on the Argus tonight. Nothing wrong with that, is there? Maybe you could tell us a little bit about the Argus later on in the show, or is it quite self-explanatory?
I think if you've had Superbuck or Sagresh, it's similar.
Right.
All right, Gary. 5 minutes exactly into the broadcast, and you've brought Little into the mix, haven't you?
Well, I had to. I'm on a sponsorship deal here.
There is something going on. Someone's had a chat with someone.
Yeah, he's a YouTuber and influencer working for Lidl, which we'll have to put on the YouTube release now. You have to say whenever there's product placement. So we see what you're up to there, Gary. Frank, you did mention you're on the Guinness Stout. Anything else you want to say about that? Why is that your selection this evening?
That is my selection this evening because I was like in between a beer and if you recall last night, I was talking about single malt. And then this morning I got a few messages from a few folks, and they're not the biggest fans. And I was like, you know what? At night, that time of night, if I want to do a scotch, then I'll probably go to bed right here because the missus wouldn't want me in there.
Yes, heard about this.
So I pretty much decided on a Guinness, cold Guinness, and look at the other concoction. You guys are going to love this. Look at the other second one that's waiting.
Ooh,
what is that? What is that in the cooling condom tonight?
The cooling condom has a second Guinness in it.
So you don't have to leave the screen. So you're drinking it chilled.
Yes, I'm drinking it chilled, and I'm being a professional. I don't want to be leaving the broadcast in the middle of all the shenanigan that's going to be happening today.
There's a funny thing there, and whiskey might have turned out to be a better choice because obviously when you get to become a man of a certain age, sometimes it's not possible to sit in the same place for an hour after drinking lots of beer. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. We'll see how that goes. Doug was not happy about the sandal sock combination, or Crocs and socks, as he says there. I think in older years you can own that completely, and it's actually very practical at this time of year as the autumn's coming in. So I haven't got a problem with that personally. You might see me in Anadia with me Crocs and socks on. I'm an Intermarché man personally. Okay, so the This is what's become of us. We used to be hunter-gatherers, alpha males, and now we're talking about which supermarkets we go to. What happened?
I don't know. We lost our way somewhere along the line. We went into the suburbs. You went to Anadia. Okay, I'm still in Lisbon. I can't say anything. And Gary is in Alvizar. I can't even pronounce that place. And one of the things that's symptomatic is Gary posts pictures of other people's cats, not his cats, that he is actually feeding or giving water to. What's going on over there, Gary?
It's a spot of cat rustling, actually. It started with next door's cat giving birth in the garden to some kittens, which are what do you do with a load of kittens? I mean, what do I know? And then they disappeared, and she went back next door again, and then she came back again and brought a friend with her. So now I've got 2 cats.
Okay. So rolling back to the question you just asked me, that's your answer.
What you got the Guinness from next door's garden?
No, I did not get the next door garden. I was talking about what you were talking about. What happened to us? That's what happened to us.
Okay, yeah. And answering the question, what do you do with all these extra cats? Tastes like chicken. Some would say. I would never say that, but that would be what some people might say. Eugene is here. I started early and started listening to Motorhead and hugging dash hounds.
Whoa.
Makes a change from insulting pigs on a Thursday afternoon, Eugene. So that's really great. And there's no need to ask him what he's drinking tonight, is there? I think he's on spud juice again. I'm on that white. The rest of that bottle of white. Most people's bottle of white from Thursday didn't make it. Was that only last night? I've still got some left in there, which I'm finishing off. And then I'm going to go to Avinha de Coria, where I used to live. Look, just down the road. Bairrada Classic. Crack that open tonight, 2017. Avinha de Coria. So I'll let you know what that's like a little bit later on as well. What else is everyone drinking this evening? We live in such a great country for trying different wines, certainly. And while we're on the matter, here's my other banner tonight. Do you rock the bock or do you bag a sag? I have started a people's poll whereby we can get the intel from the expats on what the best decisions are in Portugal, banking, mobile phone companies, and so on. But I think one really distinction, which will be if you go to let me just put it in the comments. If you go to expats and do this on a new tab. Don't do this on this tab because then you'll lose us, or do it later. But we are asking the question tonight: are you a Sagres man or a Superboc man? So quickly, you guys, are you Sagres or Superboc, and why?
If really need be, it would be Sagres. However, there have been times where actually I'll go for either. There's not much of a difference between them, is there?
So to me there is absolutely. What about
really?
You? Yeah.
Gary, decide this one.
Yeah.
I'm with you, Frank. If it's cold and wet in a glass, then I'll go for it. Basically,
yeah. We are cheap and easy dates, Gary. We've just proven that. Carl.
For me, it's that Sagres all the way.
All right.
I borrowed at lunchtime.
Someone's rocking the sponsorship hard.
No, I really am not on this occasion. I don't know where their factories are. I know there's a great big Sagres factory on the outskirts of Lisbon. I don't really want to go to that one. If I'm going to get a tour, I want it to be down south.
There is. As a matter of fact, on our way from Coimbra, outside the factory, the same factory that does Sagres also does Heineken and all these other beers. So it's towards the outskirts of Lisbon. It's in a suburb. So I guess suburbs are useful for something.
God, you're being a proper metrosexual tonight, aren't you? Like looking down on the suburbs. City guy. Okay, we can come back to that. The other question we asked at the beginning of the show is, how was your week in Portugal? Well, this is about your expat experience and what you want to report. I've had a bad bromance and a couple of new vegetables that have come into my life. But after you, Frank, how's your week been? What interesting things have you upturned? And you, Gary, as well, apart from cats?
No. Well, I want to first. You just said that a few new vegetables have come into your life. I want to hear about this first.
Okay. Well, you know the Lady Gaga song "Bad Romance." I realized this week I've been involved in a bad bromance recently, and it kind of informs a little bit this thing about the new best mates you never wanted, and I get quite giddy, I suppose, when making new friends and so on. That's like the thing at the beginning of college when you make friends with people who you spend the rest of the year trying to get rid of, but they're the ones you kind of cling to in your early insecurity at an academic institution. Well, I've had a long-standing kind of friendship, and it got closer. And this is an interesting thing, I think, for men. I was thinking the Expat Man Cave is a bit like a men's group, but without tissues. And I think I said that last night. And I can explain that it's not really a therapy group, but we might go to some of that touchy-feely stuff. And I think relationships between men, bromance, brotherhood, that sort of thing is an interesting little area to discuss. You two have gone really quiet.
I'm speechless. I'm speechless. I really am.
I'm watching this digging action. I'm loving this. Let's go.
All right, let's go. So I realized that it's okay when you're in a friendship, with another guy, and it's like you're thinking this isn't really working out for me, and it came down quite hard, I have to say. It finished with a bit of a row, and ordinarily I would feel much more sort of conciliatory and wanting to sort of, repair it and not seem like a bad guy. Bit of a people pleaser by nature anyway. I just thought, screw it. I'm getting older and I need my relationships to be healthy, happy. And I was very happy to create a boundary, and that's it. So that's part of my touchy-feely news this week. And I don't know why you're giggling, Frank. I'm sure you're going to come back to me. And if you want to know about my vegetables that I've encountered, the other day I was walking, and here's an alert. And let me put that other banner back up, because there's going to be some of this now. I don't know if you've walked close to anyone's allotment or garden where they're growing vegetables, and I was quite surprised to see something hanging at sort of eye level. On what looked like a marrow vine, but it looked like a hairy green scrotum hanging. And my two younger children were pointing and laughing at it, and I joined them and took a photograph of it.
As you do.
As you do, that's right. And probably the old guy and old lady who live at the house but wonder why so many foreigners stop and take a photograph of their favorite vegetable, presumably just hanging there innocently. And I posted a picture in the Happy Homesteaders group, I think, our group on Facebook, only to discover it's called a choo-choo. Are you familiar with the choo-choo and its characteristic shape and its slight hairiness?
Not me, and even if I was, I would not admit it on this show right now.
Okay. The other one,
it's very brave for you to admit. It's very brave for you to admit you've been going around looking at scrotums.
You see, this is what happens. This is you've made it into fake news. That is not what I said, but it's how you spun it. It's how you spun it to create a particular point there. It's called a choo-choo, C-H-U-C-H-U. And apparently in Portugal, if in doubt, peel it and boil it, which is good advice in life generally, isn't it?
Uh-huh.
Peel it and boil it, which applies to the second vegetable that I encountered. It's Pingados, you and me, alpha males roaming the aisles of Pingados, Frank. And I see more brown, hairy things next to the onions. And and they're kind of stripy brown and hairy, like tiny coconuts or something. And I'm thinking, I've got to buy these. So I put that on Facebook, and I've forgotten what they're called now. But I think you might know these. They've got again, peel it and boil it. Mm-hmm. And in Happy Homesteaders, people have been really forthcoming about what to do with these things. I'm just having a look now to tell you what they're called. They are, for heaven's sake! Somebody thought they were from this Star Trek episode, and they're tribbles. They're not tribbles. They are called. Someone called them a dasheen, which is perhaps what they're known as in the Caribbean. And I need to find. There was loads more answers to this earlier on. Oh, taro root. Do you know that? And it's in the yam family.
I've heard of that.
Yeah. So you can boil them and slice them and fry them up, and you can make a kind of yogurt out of them as well. Apparently, a vegan yogurt. So that's me. Bad bromance. 2 weird vegetables. All a happy ending because I've created healthier boundaries and I've learned how to deal with those 2 vegetables. As yet, I'm 55 years of age and I've never seen those vegetables in my life.
Oh, okay. Do you think you seeing those vegetables was as a result of your bad bromance?
It could be, couldn't it? Are you making have you assumed the role of some sort of therapist now and you're making a Freudian connection?
Yeah, no, I was actually going to offer my shoulder here. I was like, you know what? If you ever need to cry, we will give each other a nice hug. No tissues involved. Just tell me how it goes.
No tissues involved. Oh my god. Well, it's funny you should. I don't want to go into this too deeply. Obviously, it's not the right time and the place, and I might have to. We might have to have a one-on-one Skype or something like that about this to process it further. But yeah, I mean, to go through a bad bromance and then see a metaphorical pair of testicles hanging there, there's got to be a connection of some sort, hasn't there? Of how one feels about one's masculinity.
I'm thinking that, and at the same time, this can't be the first time you've passed by the scrotum kind of vegetable or the thing at Bingo Dossi. You've passed by that quite a few times. Why is it that it was this moment, this time, when you've had such a horrible breakup, that this has happened to you? You know, like this is something that it's symbolic. And because I've never seen this vegetable, I think the only time I'll see this vegetable is when I have a bad bromance.
Okay, well, I hope it never happens. Go on, Gary.
It's taken on a new meaning for him. That's what it is. It's all very sort of burnt into his memory now, and it's all those things coming back. So he's identifying with what was it, green scrotums?
I'm getting a bit tearful and upset now. So I think
you saying about fruit. You saying about fruit, right?
Yeah.
There's a nut that grows in the Indian Ocean. Well, not in the Indian Ocean, in the Seychelles. That's where it was. Right?
Okay.
And this beats anything you're ever going to come across. Right? It's called the cocoa de mer nut. Yeah. Right? Protected net. You know the one I'm on about?
I do.
And right, the nut, the female bit, right? When you look at it, when they grow to enormous proportions, it looks just like the middle bit of a woman.
Okay.
He's being very.
Are you referring to the abdomen?
Yeah, well, you know that sort of.
Okay, all right. Oh, all right. Okay, that bit. Okay, good.
Hold on a minute. We need to be a bit more specific here if we're going to be helpful to the audience. I mean, that's a bit unspecific, Gary. Frankly.
Okay, then let's talk about the section that includes the ladies' garden bits.
The lady garden.
Oh, you're talking about the vagtastic bit. All right, go ahead.
That's the bit, right? And like when you turn it down, it's got a bottom as well. It looks just like a woman's middle regions. But the other thing, right? That's the female part of the plant. Yeah. And I kid you not, the male part of the plant is a big thing that sticks out the tree like that, which looks very much like a male appendage.
A man's middle part, you might say.
Yes. So it's got it's a very sexual plant.
It's a very sexual plant. So there you
go. Jesus Christ, what an auspicious start we've had to this show. Anybody watching this saying, please don't let me ever turn 50. You're like walking around, 50-year-old guy, you're walking around, your head is knocking into scrotums, penises, looking at vaginas left, right, and center. You're like, can you see what I'm seeing? And the other person, the 25-year-old, is saying, I don't see nothing, pervert. Keep walking.
I don't know why we have the name João Pires on the screen, but I'm going to go with it. And unfortunately, on YouTube, that is always going to be associated with the comments that have just been made. It will say João Pires with that bit, who I think may be saying, we've got a vote for Sagres.
Okay, good.
Go to Expat's Choice Portugal and make your vote there. Sagres sweater, the merchandise opportunity, possibly.
All right.
Anything goes if someone else is paying on the beer front as well. Yeah, you got to watch your pennies after you get over 50. Sagres is sweeter. Okay, got it. Is this on YouTube? Is that somebody who, if it is, they never want to look at YouTube again, I wonder. It will be on YouTube. You have been warned, and a podcast as well, with obviously with illustration. Sagresh from Steve, I think, or that could be Claire. I think it's Steve though. Sagresh is doing well again. Douglas, Sagresh for me. Hold on a minute. Get to brew off pump Imperialish. I don't know what that means. Crystal. Oh, a newcomer. A preferred Pilsner style. Okay, interesting. This is all good intelligence for the male expat wandering around the streets of Portugal. Look, Sagresh for me. Oh, has to be off pump Imperialish, no bottles. But a mini can be perfect at times. You know, like whatever it is, 10 centiliters of cold beer just to take the edge off things. There we go. Superbock every time. They are going back into the cave. That was another sort of therapeutic reference, I think, there when it all got a bit kind of bad bromancy. Evening all, just watching the comments for the minute. Oh, that's going to be weird. Sound off as I got my local MP on Q&A on FB Livestream answering questions about the local lockdown. Oh, that'll be Jay. Okay. Lockdown in Cardiff, we're finding out from one of our brothers here. Good to see your happy faces whilst listening to this depressing drivel about lockdown. Absolutely, we're an excellent alternative to that. The friends I have that actually count. Oh, hold on. I've also had some of the best fights with too. So it might get a bit Fight Club in here. What was that? Is that the Arcus?
Not me. Not guilty.
It's Frank just letting someone else take the blame. You can see it's all over Frank's face. So it might get a bit Fight Clubby later on. A bit of white collar boxing between us lot. God, that can you imagine? I just can't get the image out of my head of Carl talking about a bromance and having tissues at hand. I don't know what to suggest, Neil, for getting that image out of your head. Frank is clearly very good on the counselling side, as you saw just then. He really helped me. He took me to the brink of tears about 5 minutes ago. Jay, we are happy chappies here. So I guess that's another comment about the men's group. So many comments. Thanks, guys. Yes, we grew them in Africa. It's all part of puberty, isn't it?
Yeah.
So well said on the bromance shedding realization, brother Carl. Yes, there we go. Strong boundaries as you get older. No prisoners. Sounds like a John Wayne film, The Quiet Man. What bad bromance? A remake of us like playing it out as cowboys. A bit similar, all right, Neil. Strange to have broken ribs and drinking with the dude that you gave them to you. That's real friendship, isn't it? That's real friendship.
Yeah.
I'm hoping my mate Johnny from school it turns up. He lives in Melbourne, lockdown, police state Melbourne at the moment. And we started off as a fight, actually, at school. Yeah, I put him in a kung fu style headlock, if I remember rightly. It's in my Asian blood. My enemies I fear not, but heaven protect me from my friends. Absolutely, Eugene. The spine. Is that your brother?
Hey, I know him.
Shout out to the Austins here. You guys must have had a fight or two when you were little.
Oh God, yes.
Oh God, yes.
He's referring to there, right? Is that when we were kids, because he's 2 years older than me, and we were, kind of roughly about the same size, and then I took off because he's only so high, and we used to continue fighting, and I grabbed hold of him one day and gave him a bear hug. And as part of his spine sort of crunched a bit, and he's never forgiven me for it. So I'm the villain of the piece. But what we used to do, right, and this is as true as I sit here, the truth, right? We used to have boxing matches, right? Now we had no boxing gloves, so we used to get towels and wrap them around our hands, right? And he used to beat the crap out of me, right? And I was supposed to just take this and be a man, and it was okay while he was winning, but one day I copped him with a really good one and busted his nose, and then he didn't want to play again for some reason. Yeah,
that's typical.
Well, yeah. So you've got something to say. Get him to come on. Go on, get him to come on. Tell his story.
Frank, I don't know about you, but it sounds like to me like it's not quite over, is it?
No, it's not. This is still going on. It will happen again in the gas bar. I will officiate.
Oh, you'd be amazing with your little dicky bow on. And as in that white shirt, blood spattered all over it. That'd be amazing. Yeah, we are creating programs for the future, Doug. I really feel good about my masculinity. I used to kiss the test card girl when I was 8. So test cards, not testicles for me. You know, you were talking about the inaugural liftoff of the Expat Man Cave. You can't get better than that sort of content, can you?
Mm-hmm.
Douglas, you have distinguished yourself as an honorary and permanent member of the Expat Man Cave with a comment like that. And maybe we should get some T-shirts done. Test cards, not testicles. It's perfect, isn't it? Maybe part of the social justice warrior movement. Oh, we've got penis here. Just joined live stream. The first thing I hear is penis. I don't know what to say, Charles. I don't know if you're offended or amused by that. It's so difficult to say from the dry text. We need a bit more moisture with that. Oh, he's okay. Well, and cheers, mates. What about a bourbon in Portugal? Frank will know the answer to that. We are doing counselling here. Frank, over to you. This person asked, why am I a Facebook user? Ooh. Frank?
Ooh. Oh.
Okay.
I don't know, buddy. It's what time is it? It's like 10:15 at night on a Friday. Why are you a Facebook user? You answer that question.
And if it gets difficult later, you know you've got our numbers. Swinging in the minefield. Well, that's a subject. That sounds dangerous. Dogging in the bomb dump, I suppose. That would be another way of putting that. Neil Perkins, atlasobscura.com. Oh, the Coco de Mer. If somebody wants to see what Gary's talking about, there is the illustration for that. And that explains Charles's comment as well. And that's why it's the first. Neil's got loads of references to it. He's got a Pinterest picture as well. Oh, Terence is coming back at you. Gary is older than me. And the spine comment is from my son. It is not over. That's been handed.
It's not over.
Generation to another. We need to sort this out.
This is not over, Gary. I will officiate this. I will be right in the middle, and I will make sure it's a fair fight. Yeah. And if need be, I will counsel both of you later. This needs to be sorted. This needs to be really sorted. I'm all up for it.
You've got it all going on, Frank. I think the tough cop referee thing and the softer side, the counselling after the match, it's brilliant. And I can't wait. Gary Gaspar Austin against Terence the Cowboy Austin. It's going to be amazing. The Cowboy.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. Look, someone's leaving already. I've got to go. Needs to prep. My wife needs to prep. Okay.
All right. So, guess what's happening, Carl? You see the scrotum veg that you saw this morning? It will no longer be there. It's being prepped right now.
Oh, my God. That's not me.
Peeled.
And peeled.
Boiled and peeled.
I'm interested about something. I'm interested. I've got to know what you two were like at school, right? I've got to get this in my mind right. So, Carl, what were you like? Were you a bully at school, or were you just a mild sort of, easygoing guy?
I'm afraid to say I was a bit of a verbal bully because
Really?
it was the only tool I had at my disposal. I was small at school, and I thought the best way to do this was to handle things with my mouth. And I just wish I hadn't said that now. But you get with the verbal, with my verbal. I went to an all boys. Can you imagine? I went to an all boys public school, and I shouldn't have said that. So I'm being told to check my WhatsApp for some reason. Okay. So yeah, and sometimes people feel the sharper end of my tongue. It's horrible, isn't it, school? And you have to just fix up your way of dealing with it. And I'm not proud of it. I was thinking about it the other day, actually. Yeah, it could be a bit of a bully and, like putting people down and taking the mickey out of people. So I'm not proud of that. But needs must, I suppose. And I went to what I think was not a brutal school in the sense of a violent school, but quite an oppressive, a faded grandeur public school. Which probably says, I went to an all-boys school. That says a lot, doesn't it, for starters? So enough about me, Frank.
Come on, Frank.
It will come as a big surprise to you guys. But I was a bit of a clown in school. There was none of this bullying and stuff like that.
Wow.
I used to pull full-on pranks on teachers. What I used to do is, if it was teachers, especially if it was a math teacher, because I was horrible at math. And if when the teacher would turn around, I would usually sit towards the back because I was one of the tallest, but one of the youngest. And what I used to do is I used to switch seats from the left side to the right side, and all the way I would make mooing noises. So I would be doing moo, and I'd be going from one side to the other. And the teacher would be, and as soon as the teacher would turn around, I would just sit down where I am. And the kid in front of me would get it. And then as the teacher would go back, I would just keep on doing that. And throughout this, what I would do, what my plan used to be, is the entire year I would cultivate very, very good friends along the way, and we would do elaborate things where I'd be like, hey, you make chirping noises from there, you make dog noises from there, you do this from here, and then I'd be in the back. And we'd be doing this the entire class because we were not interested. So there was a lot of clowning going around. What used to happen is it was the end of the year when my dad used to come and pick me up from school, and when the report card used to come out, unfortunately there was a lot of red on it, right? So I used to, on the way home, I used to convince my dad. I used to tell him, Dad, you know, if you can really save me from ass kicking today, I will be the best kid ever. And my dad would be like, listen, this is you and me right now. When we get home, your mom's going to give you a serious ass kicking. I don't know. We've been sending you to school the entire year. And I'm looking at all the subjects, economics, this, that. The only thing I was good at, funny enough, was English literature, civics, and sciences. Other than that, I would fail everything. Math, I don't remember ever passing a math test in my life. And by the time I would get home, I would get the ass kicking that day, and the next morning my mom would wake me up and give me a few more. And those were the days when parents were kind of friendly with the hand. I used to.
What?
No, by hand, what I mean, they were like, I used to call my mom Navratilova, because
backhand.
Yeah, well, it was not she had a very good forehand as well. She was a lefty. So she had a very good forehand, and when the forehand would finish, she had like a beautiful backhand to give you one of these as well. And this was on a regular basis. So and then I used to always tell my mother, I used to mock her as I got older, because all her beatings would never affect me. It came to a point where she would like hit me as hard as possible, and it would never work out, and I would just laugh at her. It would just get worse. So yeah, I was a bit of a clown.
Man, Henry's joining us in just a moment, but this is turning into therapy, isn't it? There's a slightly, there's an upbeat but slightly sad tone to this as well, as we reflect on all the beatings we had as children.
Yeah, do you as a parent, this brings me to the next next topic. As a parent, Carl.
Yes.
Are you kind of handsy with the kids, or how does it work? Is some karate chopping going on? How does it work?
Yeah, it never did me any harm. No, actually, I'm not. But I'll answer that in just a moment, because we have got some lovely comments. Charles is not offended. Why is Gary laughing? I'm usually the offender, but never.
It affected me anyway.
Exactly. If anyone is watching this now or on YouTube on the podcast, and they see the three of us claiming that all of this upbringing never affected us, there is absolutely no credibility in that statement whatsoever. So just look at us, honestly, like hiding.
What are you talking about? Violence is the answer.
Exactly. Gary's distancing himself quickly from that. So here we go. Look, Ben's here now. Benjamin, if we use his full name. I placed my money on Gaz winning. No offense, Dad. Oh dear, this is really going to happen, isn't it? Because now
you can see why it's my favourite nephew, really, can't you?
Yeah,
he knows
absolutely.
Where it's at.
Yeah, much bigger iTunes token for you next time. We could sell tickets, main event, white collar boxing. People are really getting behind this, you Austin brothers. Do not trust Frank. he likes to mix it. What is that? Is that a sexuality statement or what? I don't know what that is about.
Well, you never know, do you? You never know.
Yeah, you never know.
Douglas is loving he's translated it even. He's so happy to be a membro, an honourable member. And it's got to be a good thing. Get more tissues, Carl, says Neil. I don't know why people are so amused by this sort of men's group without the tissues thing. Do honorary members need initiation by tissue? Oh, for heaven's sake. Henry, you need to go on to StreamYard. Okay, yes, you need to go via stream. There's a bit of tech support. Thanks, Paul, for your tech support there. Eugene saying, my class stole a case of wine from a teacher's ski trip and battered the teacher. That sounds awful. But and I don't know if this is like, it's therapy and confession, if he's just sharing that now because he's hugely embarrassed about it and just wants to, be pardoned by the members of the Expat Man Club. Maybe that's it. Anyone taking Frank up on his challenge to see who can drink the most single malt whiskey, Scotch whiskey, before falling under the table? All comers welcome. But as that meme said, drinking whiskey makes your knuckles bleed. Look at this, Eugene. What sort of school did he go to? My class all took magic mushrooms at dinner time one day. Made for an interesting day. I bet it did. I had a friend whose father would chase him with a broom. He was like a sword. This is such therapy. I got 1% in a French exam at Easter. At Christmas time, I got 2%. My teacher wrote 100% improvement. Speak for yourself, Carl. I am fat and wear stretchy pants in the shed, drinking bachin, listening to your fixation with Peni by choice. It's going so well. Look, there's just a bottle where Henry should be now. Thank you, Eugene, for your erudite contributions. What's happening? Oh, Henry's answering the Facebook user, Henry. He's answering the question, what are you drinking tonight, by just putting the bottle in front of the camera. Some
Henry is setting the standard, Carl. This is what he's saying.
Look, the thing is, we're having so much fun here, but we've got a lot of content, and I'm beginning to think. There is a poll now. We were going to go head to head. It just seems really overly academic and intellectual for you and me to put Henry David Thoreau against Anthony Bourdain. Should we drop that for tonight?
Yeah, let's drop that for tonight.
Screw that. Okay, fine. Henry will come back soon. By way of some light relief, are we having a Gazbar Man Cave tour, Gary? Can you stretch to that?
Did you say light relief?
I did. Gary, do you want to say hi, Henry?
Hi, Henry. How you doing?
Hey, Henry.
I didn't realise I was on screen. Hello.
Yeah, we can all see you.
We saw your bottle statement.
No, I had to go to the toilet, I'm afraid.
Yeah, Gary. Go ahead, Gary. Henry was just setting the standard with that bottle right in front of us.
I'm a bit jealous, actually. It looks a big bottle, that does.
Yeah. What is it?
That's a Jeroboam of Prosecco.
Oh.
It's just a normal size.
Jeroboam.
Oh.
So, Gary, it's taken a great deal of technical expertise to set up the long shot of the man cave. Is it going to be too risky to give us a tour, or do you want to talk us through it?
If I move that, what now? You're probably going to lose me because it is literally a plate full of spaghetti back there.
All right, leave that where it is then. Can you talk us through your man cave and get the rest of us jealous?
Yeah, we can do. This is what I inherited. It's in a slightly different state to what it was when I first came in here. We got obviously the bar here. Put a few more lights in. The ceiling has always been black. It makes it look 3 times lower than it possibly is. And there's all the wood around here. Where I'm standing is where I'm sitting is like a little area which I intend to put probably a pool table in. I'm gonna have a bit of a dartboard over there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But then, come the festive season, we can take that out and have this as a bit of a area to be doing our famous river dance routine if we should want to. Yeah. Out there where I'm pointing is actually the older Dega, which I've now called the drinking room because it's got a table, chairs and stuff in it. I have put a video up with it. I don't know if anybody's seen it when I do
Yes.
a bit of a spin round so you can see it all.
It's
So you
in the
know the
tour.
layout. But it's just a good bit of fun. It really is. It makes me laugh.
I think
It's
amazing.
it's something from the 80s, I think, by the looks of it, 70s, 80s. But I got loads of stuff in here, right? And now Carl, you're our cultural expert on Portugal. Maybe you can tell me what some of these things are, because I have not the
Oh, here we
clue
go.
or any idea what this. Because we've got little things like this, right?
Oh dear.
Jesus.
Yeah.
What-
I had
What
a
is
beer
that?
out of one of those in
What is
Tamar.
that?
I presume it might be a drinking horn or something.
Ah,
I
okay.
had a beer
Yeah.
in
So
Tamar. When I went to
that was
Tamar.
here.
Wow.
Henry's
Beer out of a
Henry's
horn
got a
like that.
response to that one.
So
So
yeah, and this little thing here, right?
Mhm.
Now,
Drink.
God only knows what this is. The only thing that I can get any idea on is these. Is the old
Oh, all right.
the old maracas. Now, why would a man want these? No,
What,
they
maracas?
wouldn't, would you?
Mhm.
We've
don't
got a
know,
pair of bellows.
Those to call
Yeah.
for more food.
Pair of bellows.
Yeah.
Still work. And the
Hey,
real
Gary,
one,
Gary, I have a question for you. What kind of unsavory characters did you buy this house from?
well, this is. I'm going to go for the next piece. Okay. This is some sort of dagger. Now, this has suddenly started to take on a bit of a Freemason feel about it.
Jesus Christ.
What's going on in there?
Yeah, God knows. We've got some other stuff. Bear with me. We've got some other stuff.
Jesus Christ.
Frank is genuinely shocked. I'm crying. Henry is holding up pictures.
I'm trying to explain it to him. I don't know about that one though.
What
Fucking
is
torture
that?
device.
No. And the star of the show, guys.
Jeez. What is that?
That's an animal trap.
Oh,
Animal trap.
you sure it's an animal trap?
For what animal? What animal?
Oh,
Man trap.
Look,
That's how.
The stuff is all on the walls and everything. So it's,
It's-
pure man, isn't it? Really, pure male.
It's everything.
it's in Pulp Fiction.
Sorry,
Oh
Henry.
yeah.
You know, the
This is exactly this is exactly that
Yeah.
one. Yeah, this is that basement. This is that basement with go those guys with those gags on. Oh yeah, this is one of those basements.
I
Yeah.
think it's got a bad history, but hey,
What did
Oh.
it smell like when you first got it?
like a cellar.
Did it smell like leather?
Well, it may have done.
Carl would be able to tell. The second day I walked in there, he would identify the leather smell.
I have. I'm going to be releasing my wine chart soon, and
This is a bit worrying as well, isn't it?
as well.
This is always a bit
Gary.
worrying. This bothers me greatly.
Gary, did you hear my response for the first one? It looks just like this in Tamar when I had a drink out of this thing.
Oh, right.
To which
And what
you
is it, just a drinking horn?
A penis horn. Yeah. Drinking the juice of the penis horn.
You see, what I really loved about that moment, and I'm going to watch it on YouTube myself on the replay, is that you were proudly holding yours up, Gary. Henry's holding his up of a selfie he did in Tamar, and then Eugene posts this right in front of all of that going on. You guys are all going, look.
Penis horn.
Yes,
This
absolutely.
is my penis horn.
No, don't show that right now. Yeah, we do have.
Gary's was slightly longer and more curved, and mine was a bit shorter and fatter. But
You know what? It feels like we
mine
so
was fully
need
loaded.
we so need this outlet, don't we?
Yes.
I'm a little bit worried about the reputation damage for Good Morning Portugal, but let's just see how that goes. Douglas says this evening broadcast is that naughty 'tis was, which sounds quite Dickensian or something that Russell Brand would say. This evening broadcast is that naughty 'tis was. Think with all this talk of tissues, the boxing gloves may be for a non-pugilist reason. Yes, the old cure, Paul. Not many of us remember that. Charles says, I had one once. but we moved and I lost it. Oh, my man cave, not my manhood. So I thought he was talking about his drinking horn there.
His penis.
You should have read the rest of his comment there, Carl. That was a sweet one. This last one.
Go on, read it.
I had once, but we moved and I lost it. My man cave, not my manhood, that I lost when I said I do. Didn't we all?
Yeah. It happens to the best of us. And then Eugene, when you were having a good old rummage in the back there, Eugene was moved to say, WTF has happened to Gary. And then Douglas thinks it's a cat in the attic situation. You can make a fortune. And
Cat in
Eugene,
the cellar.
hey, there's a fucking ball grabber or something.
Hey, Gary, you know when you were shaking that paddle thingy, you looked like such a natural. I was like, what's Gary doing?
He's done that before, yeah.
You know, there's always a career for me somewhere then, by the sound of it.
He's here all week, everybody. Don't try the veal. Animal traps and knives. Where's the cage and gag? Yes, I think we're on that Pulp Fiction kind of vibe there. The people have noticed this, Gary. People are joining the dots, sir. Be careful with that claptrap when you might take your arm off. I think that might be Jake. No, not the penis horn. And now Owen turns up thinking, what on earth is going on here?
Owen,
Hey, Owen.
Good evening, Owen. We haven't even mentioned Man City shirts yet. We're having so much fun and not a single mention of Man City shirts. Good evening to you, Owen.
Not once. I did not say Paisley once. Did not say Paisley Park. Did not do any of that.
The penis horn on the Man City shirt, which is worse.
I think
you got to wear it.
The form is a little bit more fun. Gary, are you going to play a tune on that? Are you going to give it a go?
No.
Okay. I thought I'd ask.
No, it's a penis horn.
So Gary, what's the sound like down there? Do you have like a sound system? Do you have a record player down there while all this debauchery is going on downstairs?
Yeah, there's a little bit of I won't say record player. That's an old-fashioned term, is it? A little CD player in the corner there.
Gramophone.
Gramophone, old chap. We have got a bit of a gramophone in the corner.
I wasn't aware of this phenomenon, that when you switch from white to red, the compost toilet has extra work to do. I wasn't aware of that, but I guess I'll find out for myself tomorrow. Don't go there. I don't know, to the compost toilet or the Man City shirts or whatever. I'm not sure. We look forward to your company. I'm gonna switch it up a gear, guys. I think we've dropped Thoreau versus Bourdain tonight, haven't we? Mm-hmm. We had all sorts of things we were going to talk about. I'm going to put the cat among the pigeons now and share something with you. I hope you'll hear the sound on this. But check this out. This is I'm going to share this screen with you now. This is Russell Crowe's new movie. We are looking for role models, inspirations, men's men, and that's what the kind of Hall of Fame thing was about. But I'm going to show you the trailer now, and let's see what we think might happen to Russell Crowe's career after this. Okay, so stand by. And give me a thumbs up if you can hear it.
Mm-hmm.
Scrolling.
Buffering.
Are you hearing it?
No.
Okay.
Can't
All
hear
right.
it.
No hearing.
Oh yeah, I'm so watching that flick.
I'm
When did
stunned.
he turn into John Goodman?
I was going to say, after Gladiator, did he eat Joaquin Phoenix or something? The size of him.
No, hey guys, they say that when you're on camera, it adds 10 pounds. I think he may have eaten 10. I think he may have eaten 10 cameras.
Yeah, God, he has put in a bit of timber in it.
Are you not entertained?
That was just
Brilliant.
quite weirdly menacing, wasn't it? It's like,
Oh,
what was
horrible.
his problem?
Far
What was his
cry
problem?
Yeah, come on. Just cut you up in the traffic, man.
Yeah,
far
chill
cry
out, mate.
from Master and Commander. Let's
You
talk
know,
threshing.
you know what this movie reminded me of? I don't know if you guys have seen this movie, Michael Douglas's movie
Yes.
called Falling Down.
Falling Down.
Yeah.
That's exactly
Yeah.
right. But
Yeah.
a really cheap version of it with no real reason why.
That was an amazing movie.
Yeah. He had
If
a
someone
reason.
wants to talk, yeah, he had a reason.
Falling Down, didn't he?
Yeah.
But then
This guy.
got cut up in traffic, and then he's off on one. You know what? I don't know. I don't get it.
Well, I think he's kind of sort of gotten unhinged because he hasn't had any good movies lately. So I can imagine that's why he's gotten to the point. But it looks like a good flick. I'd watch it.
Would you? You see, I'm thinking. I think that's beneath him. You know, there is Gladiator, and there's LA Confidential, and then there's that thing he did about being stuck in Provence in his uncle's house or something. What was that? A year in Provence or something like that. It's like, no, Russell, this is beneath you. And I think that is as well. Like you say, like a shallow sort of remake of Falling Down.
Yeah.
And I just don't get it. And I'm not gonna. I don't think I'll be bothered to go out and watch that.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing, Carl. What category of an actor do you see Russell Crowe as? What I see is there's the Pacinos, there are the De Niros, and then you've got the Russell Crowes right underneath, and then you've got like all these other characters in there. I think if we want to talk about an actor who has really betrayed his talent, it would be De Niro. The amount of garbage movies De Niro has done. That grandfather one, the father-in-law one, the kind of actor that he is. You would expect every 10 or 15 movies he would do one decent movie. And how much does Tribeca Festival need to manage itself? I just don't understand.
Well, does it affect your opinion of him though? Because you know he is what he's in Meet the Fockers as well. That's a redemption, isn't it? You know, and anger management, I suppose you're referring to, aren't you? That end of things that's pretty poor.
They're mildly amusing films, but they're not up to his caliber of acting, are they? It's not, you know, he's just being funny and using his kind of gangster status in a comedy way.
Yeah. But don't you guys think, and here it comes with creativity, don't you kind of think this happens in music as well, where until the time an artist is hungry, the artist is doing his or her most creative work, and after a while they just don't care anymore, and they just it's all dried up, and after a while you don't see that anymore. An artist like
making music about being famous.
Exactly. Someone like Stevie Wonder. I love Stevie Wonder. All through the 60s, 70s, he did some groundbreaking music, amazing music. 80s, he still, till 85, 86, he was all right. But after that, the kind of music Stevie Wonder has done, it's beneath him. There's so many characters like that out there who you expect so much more from, but I think it dries out. The well dries out after a while. What do you think, Carl?
Well, I think you're expecting too much. Do you really honestly mean say you don't like Part-Time Lover?
Well, I loved it, but that was 1983 or 84.
Okay, but I'm joking because that's pretty ropey, wasn't it?
Hang on.
Come on, Gary.
This started to turn when he made that record with Paul McCartney.
Yeah. Oh, that's my bad bromance reminder
Carl,
there.
Oh,
did you not show this to kind of suggest that Russell Crowe is like a man's man, and who are our kind of
without a doubt
man type males? Because Russell Crowe's never been that for me. I don't think he's not intelligent enough.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, he's not in the De Niro league. I think you'd all start booing and jeering if I suggested that. But that
does it have to be just actors? Does it?
No, not at all. I mean, this whole thing of the Hall of Fame is a bit of a primer for the Hall of Fame. You know, I think it's said, isn't it? You know, like, who do we look up to in this age as great role models? And it's interesting, isn't it, that, you know, the first person I thought of was Thoreau, and then Robert Mitchum, and these are people from other times, aren't they? And who we know, don't we, from the interviews that he's done? You know, when Russell Crowe, for me, he is. I think Gladiator is amazing. I think LA Confidential is amazing. I think they're great films, and they're inspiring, and they are great messages to men in many ways. And also, yeah, you've got what?
Frank,
is that you again?
it's the phone.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
if I WhatsApp you, if I WhatsApp you, I can make that happen. Right? Yeah, A Good Year is what Owen reminds us was that terrible film of
Beautiful Mind. Beautiful Mind was a very good movie.
Yes, that was good.
incredible film.
Yeah.
He played that really well, and you know he's not a one-trick pony. Is he?
Shows diversity, didn't it, of his talents? Yeah.
Without a doubt. And then you hear, in that Mark Lawson, the critic, the Radio 4, or like a highbrow interview, and I thought that was hilarious when he says to him, Robin of Sherwood, was it? He said, so this accent, where is that place? Is he meant to be from Birmingham or something like that? Robin Hood. And Russell Crowe storms out, and he's just totally offended by this question, and leaves the building, and you think, come on, get a grip on yourself. That is not what I'm looking for from a role model. So showing you the trailer there is part of this. Who do we look to? We are elders in training ourselves here.
He's
folks.
washed up, I'm afraid. That trailer showed me.
That it does suggest that. Yeah, it does. And it has the hallmarks of like self-produced, even self-directed, with a lot of effects. And we're getting some very interesting. Charles says typical movie.
Can I put in a role model suggestion?
Please do. Yeah.
Probably for younger men, probably younger than me actually, but it's a fellow Canadian of Frank's actually, Jordan Peterson.
Interesting.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jordan. Jordan is a very interesting character. He's professor at University of Toronto. He has written that book about 12 rules in life or something like that.
Yeah. Got that right here. Yep, indeed. Yeah, he's
an inspiring man anyway, especially for young men, I think, looking for a direction and that kind of get up and go, which men are supposed to do, I guess. Well, men and women are supposed to do, but for men in particular, he aims at, to kind of make something of your life for the sake of making something of your life, not for any other reason.
What's happened though, Henry, is I kind of believe I've realized one thing that there is an entire generation, actually maybe 2 generations, that have been lost to television and to video games. And what's basically happened is, if that has been babysitting your kids, then the kind of kids that you're going to have will have no direction, especially men. And men are so confused in this day and age anyways with the kind of world we have. Someone like Jordan Peterson, when you read his stuff and when you listen to him, you kind of understand what's going on. At University of Toronto campus, he actually took on what's that crowd that is the snowflakes there's the other crowd too, who men who want to men who want to use ladies washroom, like the transsexuals or whatever. And he basically
adjectives
adjectives or whatever, and he had some issues with that. He had an issue with pronouns. He has spoken about that.
Wasn't it? That he had an issue with being told what to say and when to say it and how to say
it. No, this politically correct culture has really killed a lot of stuff as far as we are concerned, because you don't know which way to turn. You don't know what to say to.
No, and a lot of people call him right wing, and I'm generally kind of left-leaning sort of person, but I agree with a lot of what Jordan Peterson says. So, I suppose the typical left and right of the political spectrum you can't be entirely left or entirely right, I don't think, well, unless you're to the far end of it. But Jordan Peterson, he's got some. I look at more his inspiration. He's quite inspirational to young men, I think, and that's kind of the good message that people should take away. But they tend to focus on the bad things, or supposedly bad things, that he says, and they're taken the wrong way.
Sorry, Henry, I wasn't laughing at what you're saying. I was laughing at Frank's phone, which is obviously purposefully left on a hard surface. And I'm not referring to his penis board. So we have a few. We have a Shaft. That was a good movie. I saw the remake of Shaft. Did you like the Shaft with Samuel L. Jackson? Or was it just a
Yeah.
bit of a? Yeah, I
I
enjoy.
like Samuel L. Jackson, and Samuel L. Jackson is entertaining, but when he becomes a mock-up of himself, he's not that great. Hey, Paisley Bob.
Oh, I love this. I love
Where's
this.
your
How
Man City
Paisley
shirt?
Bob-
Hey, Owen, can I ask you a question?
He can't
You
hear.
can't hear me. All right, I love this already.
Same
Owen,
here.
here's my question. Why is it that every time you and I are talking, there's another Manchester? The scales are always uneven. There's always another Manchester United fan along. What's going on over here?
Because there are that many fans from Manchester United that are actually from Manchester that are tuning in.
Yay!
Yes, it's
Can't
true.
argue with that.
Frank, the main reason I've come on tonight, I'm going to go off camera for 2 minutes, but I've got something special for you, Frank. I'm going to go off camera, but I can still hear and everything, but I've got something special for Frank.
Okay. All right.
He's going to whip out a shirt. You know he is.
Going on here.
What is going on?
Shirt.
This could be
100%.
this could be awkward. This could ruin my career and my reputation. Gary,
Is he-
you're
is
right. You-
Is it?
Are you having a power snooze? A lot of rustling going on.
What is going on over here?
Get the tissues ready.
Yeah.
Okay,
You just carry on, guys. I'll be back with you in a minute.
All right. Okay.
so mysterious.
I'd like to
I'll
address
throw a
the
name in
balance
there,
of-
shall I?
of
Can I throw a name in?
Man
Yeah,
United.
Yeah, throw a name in there, Gary.
Leonardo DiCaprio, right at the top of his game at the moment. Absolutely
Brilliant
steaming
actor.
it for me.
Yeah,
Brilliant actor. Brilliant actor.
Underrated.
Stuff now, don't you think?
Always fantastic.
But he's a bit of a pretty boy, right?
He is, but he can act. He can bloody
Yeah,
act.
he can act.
And
You
I
can
tell
act.
you what, that meme going about with him on it at the moment fits for everything. Yeah.
that one.
Yeah.
Well, that's De Niro, isn't
Get
it?
one.
De Niro. And then
There's
DiCaprio.
some brilliant ones. But yeah, he is a fantastic actor, I think, personally.
I think
Yeah.
so.
Well,
Yeah.
him and the guy, what's his name? The guy who ruined his career with Iron Man.
Oh,
Oh dear.
Oh yes, the bad boy. What's he called? The ladies love
Robert
him.
Downey Jr.
Robert Downey Jr. Yeah.
Spectacular actor. I love that actor, but I've not seen. I don't believe in any of these Marvel or these comic book movies, and I think he's done well for himself. But he has so much to offer. He's done amazing Sherlock Holmes movies. It's just an amazing character. When he did Chaplin, he should have gotten an Oscar for that. He was amazing in that movie. And these actors are quite underrated for some reason, and they do this to themselves. What is this?
That's the one. That's DiCaprio. The DiCaprio meme. Which film is that from, everybody?
That was Django.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Wasn't keen on that.
All right. What's going on?
Where'd you get your protein from? That's him eating tofu.
Yes, of course.
Tofu.
Just one of many of those I got on my phone.
It's number one in the vegan chart of memes at the moment.
What's your opinion on Henry? What's your opinion on tofu?
I eat quite a lot of it because I'm a vegan.
Oh, you are? Okay. No, it's
It's eternally disappointed in me. Look, I just said your whole opinion changed me. Your aura.
no.
Wardrobe change.
What is this?
Oh, he's stroking himself
What?
on the. He's stroking himself.
Oh. Da 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 da. All right. Okay. So, now, what are we seeing now? Oh, all right. It's the second
Going back
jersey.
last season.
It's the powder blue one.
Please.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Classic.
Very good.
What? This is a
What? Oh, what's going on?
Bottom of this.
It feels like there should be music for this.
What's going on? Oh, yeah, this one. I like this one.
How much have you spent on kits this season?
That's about 500 quid's worth so far, isn't it?
Yeah, that's like, wow. Yeah, what's going on here?
Oh, hang on a minute.
It's going to be the big
Oh,
reveal.
this is good. This is good. I love this. This is a big reveal.
It's the Paisley one at the bottom. This is incredible. This is a stage show.
This is a stage show. This is a proper stage show. This is amazing. Wow.
That's it. That's my favorite.
That's your favorite?
Paisley's not coming out yet.
I loved it. Owen, thank you very much for doing that. Can I suggest something? For our next show, if you can do the same with the trophies, it would really, really matter a lot.
It shouldn't take long either, should it?
It shouldn't take very long.
No, it should not take very long.
Oh, can I give a controversial bit of
The Paisley one hasn't arrived yet. The Paisley one hasn't arrived yet, but I'm looking forward to that one. I'm going to wear it with pride.
All right.
Oh, God. And when I call you Hen Dog, I think we should have nicknames here. We've obviously got Persian Frank already. Hen Dog. I don't know what you respond to, Gary. Gazbar Gary, I guess.
Gazbar Gary.
Just Gazbar.
The Gazbar, yeah. He is the Gazbar, isn't he?
Gazbar.
Owen, what do we call you? Paisley Bob? Paisley Bob, is that you? Or Facebook user?
No.
Paisley Bob, do nicely.
Bob is here tonight.
Paisley Bob.
Come back to FIFA 2021 in just a moment, Henry, because we need to include a few comments here. And I'm loving it, the comments that are coming in. I think we have hit upon something here, a need among men of a certain age on a Friday night who aren't going. Apart from you, Henry, you are the notable exception, bringing the average age down. Jordan suffers from chronic depression like his daughter. It's an interesting comment about Jordan Peterson. His private life is a bit weird. He only eats meat, apparently, but often genius is like that, isn't it?
Diet.
We're glad to hear from Douglas that he only uses the ladies' toilet on Friday night. When I first encountered, I think you're right. That's a challenge laid down there. I thought he was Dutch at first, and he was Duke Hugers from Amsterdam or something like that. Turns out he's Scottish, living in Wales, possibly. Douglas Hughes, which could be Welsh or Scottish, couldn't it? And we discovered tonight, as everyone's kind of letting their guard down a little bit, he only uses the ladies' toilet on Friday nights. So great,
guys.
It's all right. No worries.
We're
so the ladies then, Doug.
No problem with that. No problem. Cancel culture has killed anything manly or funny. Interesting point there, Charles. And you know what?
I agree with Charles.
Yeah, the expat man cave idea, I don't think would have come about in quite the same way if it hadn't been for the work that Jordan Peterson has been involved in recently. And this, who's the guy who does the big podcast? Joe Rogan.
Brilliant. Yeah.
The reclaiming.
Joe Rogan.
Yeah, the reclaiming of masculinity is a big issue at the moment, and I would like to think we're doing a little bit here on a Friday night. We'll see how it goes, and maybe in time to come we will get awards for being part of the drive globally to reclaim masculinity. Who'd have thought it? And we can just.
Can I say, Carl? I say that I know where the sole blame lies. And it's in 5 women called to the Spice Girls with their girl power. That's where it stops. That's where it started, guys. That's where they chuffed us up. I'm afraid with the girl power stuff. That's where it happened.
I sort of disagree with you, Owen. I think we did it to ourselves.
Oh no! It's a sporty spice. It's a sporty spice.
I think we've done it to ourselves. I think men have done this to ourselves. I think whatever advantage that we have unfairly claimed through the years, we have abused it to the extent where it became silly. We started becoming comical. We started looking like a bunch of clowns, and someone had to step in and do this. What's been happening? Look at the states of the countries where the leader of the country is a female. Take the example of Angela Merkel. She's the only one. She's the only one out of all these clowns who makes sense. When she's up there, she looks like she is the only one who can take care of business. All of these other clowns look like her kids, and this is all.
Frank, it's because she's got a pair of balls.
Yeah, she's got the old You've got the
Yeah,
choo-choo.
but this is our way of saying this. We like calling it, it's a pair of balls, and this guy has got the cojones. Thing is that we as men, we've kind of shifted from where we need to be. We have, because so much power was afforded to men, we kind of got drunk on power. That's what happened. We did it to ourselves.
Gary.
I'm going back to something you said a few weeks back, Carl. And the comment you made was something like that men can often be a dangerous thing to be around. They're unpredictable, they'll get drunk. They often break out into fights and stuff, yeah. And that is totally true, right? Mm-hmm. But if you think about testosterone, it's got to be one of the most riskiest things on the planet, one of the most dangerous substances. Because if you think about men who have been under the influence of testosterone, empires, fortunes, relationships have all been lost.
Gary, Bill Gates is listening. Bill Gates is listening. He'll pick up on the word, man. Stop it. He will.
What do we do with all this testosterone? Where does it go? What do we do with it? And that frustration, it's got to come out. We've got to have a shout. We've got to have a bit of a head pushing session. We've got to do something. We're not allowed to now. So
the man cave. It's a visit to the man cave.
Yeah,
it's an outlet.
Visit to the man cave.
Spice Girls had 5 members. There's 5 of us on this screen.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you what I really
Let's
want.
Sort it out. Let's make a song.
The Brotherhood of the Man Cave. The Brotherhood of the Man Cave.
Well, we need to
yes, Gary. Yes, Gary.
We will re-record Rock Together. Absolutely. And Neil, I think Neil is blowing the horn there, as we saw modelled earlier on by Gary. Frank's. No, it was you and your Tamar horn and Gary's Alvadra horn are well blown this evening. A young man speaks now, and Douglas is confirming that he is on the way to the ladies tonight. We don't judge. You do not need to be embarrassed, dude, honestly. All political correctness does is restrict thoughts. That is what it's designed to do, restrict thoughts by restricting our language. I think that's a pretty erudite point from a young man.
Yeah. The next generation. This is my nephew.
Gary's claiming him as a nephew there. I think we're all claiming him as a nephew tonight. What excellent insight from a young man there. Paisley Bob, what?
I'm not a lager drinker. I'm more of a traditional ale drinker for those people watching from the UK. But I've just picked up. I don't know if we could do any sort of advertising, but I've just picked up this little beauty from, I think it's Aldi or Lidl. It's a little Chivesa. Quite nice. From Malta, would you believe?
All right.
Malta.
5.5%. Really, really nice. Really smooth. Really nice, smooth drink. So I just thought I'd just say that because I'm not a lager drinker. It's
quite a nice lager.
It's quite a nice lager for 20 past 11 on a Friday evening.
Is it available at Lidl?
Carl, it's there. It says Carl on it. We're all right. It says Carl on it.
We will get that Lidl. I don't know what jingle should we have for every time Lidl is mentioned.
I don't know. Do they have a song
on Friday night to get pissed?
We'll reflect on that one. I don't think I'll like it at a corporate level. That one, Henry. What were you saying?
I was saying Frank's noise that keeps going off every now and then is vibrating phone on his hard surface.
On his hard surface. Yes, indeed.
Nice one, Henry. Nice one.
We're going back to
that should be our theme tune.
Yeah. What about Sean Bean? Is he a man's man, a role model?
He's from Yorkshire Sound.
Well, he would have been a man's man if he would have survived the first season.
No, hang on a minute. Sean Bean did a film where he was a transvestite.
He's a ladies' man.
He did. I can't remember the name of the
film. Who hasn't? I'm quite sure. Hasn't De Niro done a movie where he was a transvestite?
No, you're thinking Dustin Hoffman.
Yeah. That's Tootsie, isn't it?
Yeah, Tootsie, that's right. I'm not sure about Sean Bean. I mean, he does a good mobile phone advert. Too. I'll do that for a second time. Tom Hanks, not a man's man, but a very talented actor, can play any role. What do we think?
I don't know about him. He's just a very good guy. He's the kind of guy that, you know, if you're on a plane and the plane is going down, he's going to make you feel better about yourself.
Especially if he's the pilot.
No, he's played the part as a puppet, and he is a puppet. Sorry.
God, that's great. It's okay.
If you know anything,
Django was the answer to the meme. Yeah, the meme pick of DiCaprio is Django. Thank you for that. I think that's Jay, who's offered to teach us how to work on foreign exchange and the stock market. I've not got round to talking about this these man cave masterclasses. We're going to learn how to slaughter a chicken, go hunting, paddle boarding, surfing for the older gentlemen. We've got lots of people smoking fish live on air. So it's going to be amazing, the man cave masterclass. Johnny Depp, was great, but lost his mind. I mean, that happens to a lot of actors, though, doesn't it? They all go through that. What's the Australian fella? Mel Gibson. A similar fate.
Well, Johnny Depp is a different situation because he just basically married the wrong woman. There's nothing wrong with the dude.
Wow.
Mel Gibson's come out and said some very interesting things about Hollywood, actually.
Okay.
But yeah,
a rabbit hole has opened.
Yeah, let's not go down there.
Okay.
Tom Hanks and Mel Gibson.
What?
What's up? What's Owen up? You just.
I didn't wish to offend Frank anymore, so I thought.
No. You don't offend me. Henry's tofu absolutely does not offend me.
Come on. What he means by that is he's really offended, I think. And I think also what you did there was you upset a Spice Girls fan with your comment earlier on. I meant to say that. I think Frank is actually a bit of a Spice Girls fan. And that
I used to be. I used to like that. What was it? Which one was it? The Angry Spice? The Angry Spice?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Mel B.
Yeah, nice.
No.
From
Not that one.
From the
Not
North of
that
England.
one.
Victoria Beckham.
Come on, I've got to say it.
No, the one who started doing these American Idol shows. What's her name?
Was she married to one of the Belafontes?
What?
She was married to one of the Belafontes.
Who was?
Really?
Mel B,
Oh.
Scary Spice.
Well, I know.
Okay.
They're not angry.
Between
not
Eddie
angry.
Murphy and.
They're not angry, but
She's got a
scary.
child with Eddie Murphy, is she not?
Okay. Can
Oh,
some?
I don't know.
So
Yeah, she was. Yeah, you're right, Henry. You're spot on. Yeah, she had. But who hasn't had a kid with Eddie Murphy?
Don't lie, Carl.
No, I love with these random comments. I mean, you need to tie up which bit of our conversation these comments are related to. Past. Is that a film? Is it past the film? 2 syllables? Sounds like. Maybe can we talk sport for a bit? Okay, yes, well, of course we can. Anyone?
Let me say my FIFA comment then.
Speaking of sport.
No, actually, no. Yeah, we can't do sport until we've got FIFA 2021. Henry, Hendog.
So, officially, the two countries that haven't agreed to be licensed on FIFA, I can't remember one of them, but one of them is Portugal. They've not agreed to be licensed on FIFA. So
why is
their
that?
kit is going to be different, and their badge is going to be different. They did it with Brazil and the Netherlands in the last FIFA, and they couldn't have any of the players' names in them, I think, in the last one. But apparently, FIFA 21, Portugal is not going to be in there properly.
Why do we think that is?
Not sure.
Cristiano.
Maybe. Yeah, it must be something to do with him. Come on.
What?
Pricey's got to pay for being the GOAT.
He's in the game, but Portugal as a country, as a nationality, not their shirt is different. It can't be the official shirt or badge.
Well, it's funny you were saying that because I posted on the sports page about the pajama top. Yes, hey, look, Doug. The paisley top that they're using for the esports team that play the FIFA, the FIFA football games online and represent Manchester City.
Yeah.
And their top, as I put on the page, actually looks like a pajama top, which I'm sorry is a thumbs down from me. That's going way too far.
No way.
way too far. Yeah,
you can handle the Paisley, but
it's a good topic. It was all right. The top that they brought was okay. I mean, look at the zebras that United have got. But they're
pretty good. I like
it. It is. I think it just changed things a bit. I think we're going way too far with the sponsorship. There's far too much sponsorship on the shirts and not much focus on the shirts themselves. And the shirts are really supposed to represent the clubs, aren't they? And well, fair enough. I understand where City have gone with their strike.
Well, it's Owen. It's in the end, it is about the money. And look at what is sponsorships is the reason why a lot of teams have come up. The rich people are the reason. Abramovich going and buying Chelsea out of nowhere. I remember in the 90s when I used to live in England, Chelsea used to be in the FA Cup finals against Middlesbrough. That was the Chelsea team. Abramovich came, bought the team, put money in it, and then it became a brand. The thing is that these teams, what we have to understand one thing, the teams we support are our teams. However, they're also brands, and they represent they represent a brand. People in other countries, in Asia and whatever, this is not for us. This is the crazy Asian market that they're trying to attract. It's those fans who will never go to Old Trafford.
Yeah, exactly. Look
who will never go to Old Trafford. Who will never go to your stadium, but they will watch these games somewhere remotely, and they'll feel part of a clan, just like we are over here in the man cave.
Too true.
Can I
the thing with the Man City thing is what? Sorry, go on.
Sorry, just mine and Nina's business has just sponsored Bishop Stainton United for an undisclosed sum, where our logo is going to be on their shirt this season. Oh yeah,
beautiful. Yes,
I can't
indeed.
say how much it costs, but local football, Sunday football at its best.
Well,
you know what you should do? You should have a little bit of embroidery on the sleeve that says GMP.
Yeah. I'll see if I can get that done.
Yeah, I think. I mean, that's 10 quid well spent, Henry. Good on you, mate. So we remind Charles of the Monty. This is good. I mean, I take that as high praise that we're reminding Charles of Monty Python, and our inquiry as to what it is to be a man tonight. This is interesting. There's always one, isn't there, who's like looking for the pickup. And I think this Facebook user is wondering if there are any ladies watching tonight, because we have said, of course, this is the man cave. It's for men interested in the man cave vibe, but also obviously women who will be single ladies, possibly who want to put a ring on it. I guess
Nina's sat with me. She's fallen asleep, so
so the testosterone is not keeping her awake. So it would say,
Henry's the Prosecco.
Yeah.
So I think not, in answer to your question there, Facebook user. Angela Merkel scares
good job she does. Look at Jacinda Ardern, another formidable lady. This is I find she's remarkable. These are the kinds of ladies we should be looking up to. As men, I think this is a new form of.
Hasn't got a good track record of running the world.
It does not.
No. Okay, fair play. I had to go to therapy during the Spice Girls era. I fancied Baby Spice, very risky. I would Duke, an A up Paisley Bob. I think Duke, it's very great that you're being open with us, but you might want to review that. You're perhaps being a little too open with us tonight. I love the paradox here, because if we can't communicate well, we can go to conflict and war. As men, we need to practice good communication, just in our own refined style, i.e. down to earth and straight to the effing point, no polish and glitter. We just say it as it is, right? So, yes, I think that's Jay. Thank you, Jay. And we're looking forward to your company on the screen at some point. And to go with that, Jason Statham.
No, plastic.
Not for me. Not for me. And Ben.
Plastic Statham.
Oh, Henry's not.
For me, it's not Jason Statham. For me, it's Guy Ritchie. If you've seen some amazing movies he's done. Lock, Stock, Two Smoking Barrels, Snatch. Can we say snatch on? Oh, over here we can, right?
You just did twice. You just did twice.
You did it, Frank.
I think Benjamin, may, you know, from
Micah.
you know, I'm going to do old codger on you now, Ben or Benjamin. I don't know which you prefer to be called.
For
But
Micah Statham.
we know. Yeah, he's not letting it go.
I love it. Hashtag it. Hashtag it. You should hashtag that. You should hashtag that.
We know what it's like to be young, but you don't know what it's like to be old. And from our point of view, Ben, go on, Gary.
I've got to say this one. I just remember it because Frank's a foodie and Owen's a foodie, right? Ben is a budding foodie. He's great on the barbecue, does wonderful stuff. He really needs to get up in contact with you guys. So when we have the meeting here, right? Hopefully he'll be here, and you can do the man thing and show him the ropes. How's about that, guys?
Absolutely.
Yeah, from old Giffer to young fella. I think that's great transition.
This is another one of the things that we don't do enough. Is a lot of men have forgotten how to teach others how to cook, impart knowledge, how to cook. Cooking is so important. It's not just about it's a life skill. It needs to be taught in school.
Yeah,
and it does not get taught in school. So it's up to us to impart this knowledge.
I've not been doing a lot of my Facebook lives recently, purely because of the reason we've been doing where I am at the moment. We've been doing an outdoor kitchen and restoring the bread oven and everything else. So I love it when it's done. It's for everybody to come along and just try it. We'll have a pizza party or something, and you know, maybe roast half a goat or something else inside the oven or something.
Cool, blimey. Or a chicken that we've slaughtered ourselves.
Yes.
That would be something. That would be something.
The 3-leg one.
The three.
We still have a Spice Girls tip out with us.
Some tofu or a kilogram of tofu.
Yes, bring it on. Bring it on.
Before I kill a chicken, I'm happy to kill tofu. No problem with that.
I'll murder that tofu.
Okay, so Posh. I don't know if that was an answer to a question.
It's Spice Girls.
Yeah, I know that, but was it the right answer? Was it which?
No, it was Mel. I think Mel B. Yeah, it was Mel B. There was a Mel C in there as well, right?
Yeah,
Mel C was sporty, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, it was Mel B. Yeah, Mel B. Yeah, scary.
Mel B was
the
brown one. Melanie Brown.
Melanie Brown.
What was the question though?
The clues in the name.
Which?
It was the one that scared Frank. It was
the one that Frank really fancied. The one that Frank.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right, we got
Can
that.
I just go back to the football, if I can?
Please do.
Hello, Anne. If I go back to the football, just watching. I've been watching Manchester City for the last 30-odd years, and I managed to catch up with the Carabao Cup last night. But the thing is that did the best for me was seeing the name of the referee, which is Jonathan Moss. Now, Jonathan Moss has officiated 34 games for Manchester City. In which of those games, Manchester City have only drawn 2 and lost 1.
Yeah.
Jonathan Moss was my 2 daughters' headmaster.
Amazing.
Yeah.
When my girls was at school, he was doing the Northern Premier League refereeing there, and we used to always talk because he's a massive Sunderland fan, and obviously me being a Man City fan, we'd talk about football, and in particular my youngest daughter Megan was a really, really good footballer, and we would talk about football every morning when, you know, taking the kids to school. And I did say to him, when you reach the Premier League, when you officiate in Man City games, remember me. And he's always been a really good luck token. So even last night for the Carabao Cup, as soon as I saw him officiating, I didn't have to watch. Seriously.
Yeah, that's a win.
Really, if I could bet, I don't bet anymore. Just bet on the horses, but if I could bet, I would bet every match that Jonathan Moss, whether he's the referee.
I'm going to start betting on it.
There's no problem.
Yeah, we've made a note of that.
I'm
We've
gonna
made a
start
note of
getting
that.
in there.
Can we get him on here one night? I mean, that'd be amazing if you could pull
He's a great guy. He really is. You know, nice fun. He's a really, really good guy, and it's just amazing. When he got into the Premier League, started officiating every game that City played. It was always like, okay, let's see what's happening, and it's been really good. You know, as I say, 2 draws and 1 loss in what
34 games.
30 plus games is officiated. Amazing.
So Paisley Bob, based on those stats that you're giving me, are you commending his refereeing skills, or are you commending?
He just knows me. He just knows me. He just knows me. That's it.
He's put his whole career on the line. If he went primary school.
Listen, I just said to him, right? If City don't win, the brothers are coming round. Right? The brothers are coming round. They've been knocking on your door, man. More than 3 go and room you want, but they're still going to knock down your door.
Oh, and here I was thinking, Owen, you're a lover, not a fighter.
Exactly.
And Julienne, thank you so much for shouting out as a female in this.
The winking emoji.
We like a winking emoji, don't we?
Hey, Anne, who's winking back at
And a
you?
winking avatar.
Frank's right in there. And
Frank,
I said,
you don't have sunglasses on. You can wink without taking your glasses off.
That is a good point, is that?
top tip. Right.
I want the winking to be spot on. I want it to be noticed.
Spot on, Frank.
I just don't think it's obvious enough. Could you make that a little bit more obvious, maybe? Try again.
Head nod as well.
Why has he got his mouth open? Why has he got his mouth open?
That will be turning up on Facebook as an animated GIF tomorrow morning. That's fantastic. Now, again, counselling skills from you, Frank.
Yeah,
what if I confess to fancying Angela Merkel?
Oh, dear.
Oh, dude, seriously.
I'd say
There's no chance for you in this world.
You don't, Frank, you can't say that as a therapist. No therapist ever said that. There's no.
A therapist's job also is to come out straight and tell you what's going on, man. There's no chance for you.
That's a coach.
It's not happening.
That's bad.
Okay. Free life coaching and counselling for you, Duke, tonight. I don't want to shame you about that. I'm a little bit concerned, I have to say, as one man to another. But you know, whatever. He might have his beer goggles on, is what I'm thinking. I've just joined. What are you talking about? Seems pretty random. Lol. I think that's a fairly good review of the show.
It is. Who is this? Who is this?
Yes, name yourself, Facebook user.
Name yourself.
Henry might be sledging us secretly. Benjamin is down for a barbecue. He's up for learning the skills from a full-on North American barbecue expert.
We should get him on, Carl. We should get him on. We should get him on screen. You'll love him. He's very entertaining. He's Ben. He's a lovely man.
Can't wait, Ben. Looking forward to meeting you. I'm planning. Hold on a minute.
Nice.
Good. Facebook.
Nice. Are you making fresh chimichurri with that?
Yes, please.
Get in. I think lamb Argentinian style. Is that where you push the lamb in with your hand just at the last minute?
What do you mean by pushing it with it? What kind of movies have you been watching?
That's it, isn't it?
I would have thought you football fans would have got that.
No.
The hand of God.
Maradona.
No. All right.
No.
I thought it was another card.
All right.
Let's move on. Tofu curry. What do we think of that?
No.
You see, this is in
Carl Innuendo.
Carl Innuendo from my forthcoming book. Carl Innuendo. All right.
This is why this show needs an outlet, because of your innuendos in all your other shows, like Good Morning Portugal. You should write a book, mate. You really should.
All right.
Carl has actually confessed that he has started taking notes, and his book is a leather book.
Yeah, it'd be leather. It'd be encased in leather. 101 innuendos. Carl.
Absolutely.
As Mrs. Beaton's a book of household management, a big book like that. That's what it's like. It'll be a massive book like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Bend
1,001 innuendos.
Bend over for my innuendo.
Sniff my innuendos.
Okay.
All right, Henry.
This is the man cave.
Yeah.
This is the man cave.
The later you tune into this, the
I'm
later
missing
you tune
Portugal.
into the Expat Man Cave, the less sense it makes. Obviously,
Scratch and sniff my innuendos, Nina just said.
Okay, that's the last. Yeah, there's a pull-out supplement on the book where you can scratch it up and give it a sniff.
The last page.
Can I just say, Carl?
Bonus material.
Yes, you can.
All racist comments have been blacklisted.
Excellent.
Only you can say that. You know, but basically, and I want to. Here's another cat for the pigeons. And I know this is an elephant in the room now, isn't it? Tofu piri piri. I know. I get a feeling that when tofu was first mentioned, both Owen and Frank went. Their buttocks clenched at the sound of tofu. Am I right?
I've just taken my glasses off, so let's go.
Don't wink at me. Please don't wink at me.
It's wrong. It's just wrong. It's wrong. And I've been vegetarian and I've been vegan, but tofu is just wrong. Sorry.
It's not good for the man boobs. All that estrogen.
Well, it's similar to, all right, if you're going to spend money on eating tofu, you might as well slice off a bit of your sofa and marinate it. It's the same thing. It's the same texture. It's the same texture. It's the same thing. You might as well eat that.
I have a wife who's a very good cook and has made tofu. Yeah, I have a Nina.
He's only saying that. He's only saying that because she's in the room.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm right here.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's just my opinion. It's just my opinion. I'm sorry.
No. Well, everyone's entitled to their opinion.
Yeah. So how do you like? All right. I'm going to humor you, Henry. How do you like your tofu?
Cooked by Nina.
Carl. Yes.
You know,
Stop
when she decides. I will eat it.
You know when people say a moment on the lips, and then straight to the hips or something like that about cakes.
A lifetime on the hips. About cats.
No, not about cats, about cakes.
What you said? Eating cats.
I don't know who said that. I don't
They're
know
lovely, but Jesus.
You know me, I'm more of a dog man.
Yeah.
But
You are from the east. Come on.
But with tofu, it's like a moment on the lips, a lifetime on the man boobs. I'm thinking that all of that soy and estrogen, it's not good for me. It's not
Go
good
on,
for
Henry.
my pectoral
It's a myth,
development.
Carl.
It's a myth.
As you know, I own a gym.
Yep.
I was scared of soy for a long time because of the estrogenic effects that I thought it may have on men. Obviously, I've been vegan for about a year now, just coming up to a year. And my protein has been mainly made up of soy, and I've not grown any man boobs. So I'm quite pleased with this. And I've not lost much muscle. I've lost a bit of weight, don't get me wrong, but the man boobs haven't grown. So I think it's a myth.
Okay, I'll take that from you.
Were you into dairy products before? Do you miss dairy products?
The taste of them, yes, but when you sit down and really think about where they've come from, no, I don't miss suckling from a cow.
Oh, okay. He's going for the emotional angle. The emotional angle.
No, I see where you're coming from. I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah.
I mean, the initial reason was for Nina's health issues. So as a supportive husband, I changed my diet with her, mainly because
nice one.
Most of the food as well.
Nice one.
Nice one.
But yeah, and that was the initial reason we did it, because it reduced swelling. Not having dairy in your diet reduces the swelling in your joints, etc. So Nina had arthritis, and that was the initial reason we did it. And then at first it was hard, but it gets easier. And then when you go to Portugal, it becomes hard again because you can't speak the language.
What is he talking about?
Vegan meat means vegetarian, so everything comes with cheese on it anyway. So yeah.
I am. Well, I don't want to see the transcript for this show. First it's hard, then it gets easy. Then you go to Portugal and it gets hard again, and then you miss the cheese on it or something.
But then when it
Did you not see Gary? Then he had the horn.
It becomes easy again.
He's blowing the horn. He's blowing the horn of Lidl. I think.
When I went to Tamar and I found that that horn, yeah, I mean that's when it all came back to me.
I think our transcription also says estrogen as well. Thank you, Steve, for that. Maybe because I'm a soy boy, Merkel is for me. I think I don't know what's happening to Doug.
This guy is on one.
No, but Doug. He is. But this is really this takes the biscuit, right? I've heard of finding Priti Patel as a femdom cruel so-and-so before, but never heard of anything about Angela. I mean, this is a real cry for help. And then he goes on to say, now that is a fist for me. Which
Dude.
Oh, you couldn't write it. He couldn't write it.
He did write it. Must have been on purpose. Come on.
He did write it. Okay.
Can we get this guy on? Can we get him on screen? This guy.
If
you need to picture her skipping through the fields of wheat with Theresa May.
Yeah,
it will turn all that off for you. You know.
It's like the opening scene from Little House on the Prairie.
Yeah, but them two.
Those two, with those
skipping along. They did it.
Yeah.
They did it.
Now, we are 46 minutes over schedule. Are there, Frank, co-host Frank, are there things we meant to include that we haven't included and we should?
I can't. Frank's glasses.
There were a few things that we wanted to discuss, but I think since it's the first show, I like the flow that we've got. And I think we should just go with this. And I believe the format of this show should be loosely around whoever is all the beautiful characters who are around, and we just go with the flow and see how it goes.
Yeah, and talking of which, you know, when I said when you get to a certain age, probably an hour-long show is really difficult if you're drinking beer. I am going to have to disappear for a couple of minutes. But Frank, I want to. Are we going to carry on for a little bit?
Yeah, sure.
Let's go on to 11. Sorry, midnight. Let's go on to midnight. But okay. What's and I don't know if it's because I need glasses, but Frank, since you've taken your glasses off, you look like Will Smith. I'm thinking there's Will Smith on the webinar with
Carl, colorblind test, mate. Colorblind test. What are you talking about? Will's more like me.
Carl, I think you need my glasses.
Can I just say as well? The only reason I kept my glasses on tonight.
I'm hearing summertime.
I got stung by a mosquito on my eyelid last night, and
dear,
this morning I couldn't see.
What?
And everything. Went to a doctor's, couldn't do anything about it.
Really?
Treating it with colloidal silver. It's gone down a lot, but this morning, sorry, because I'm looking backwards, this eye I couldn't open at all this morning. Still a bit swollen.
Are you suggesting that's the same condition that I've got when I'm looking at Frank and thinking it's Will Smith?
Yeah.
I've just noticed something. I've just noticed something, and just sitting here looking at the screen. Right, we've got a wonderful racial mix here. We've got Carl, Oriental parentage. Is that correct?
Absolutely.
Right, Frank, who is of Persian descent, correct?
Mm-hmm.
We've got Owen down here, who is Afro-Caribbean, correct?
Mm-hmm.
What it is?
A Brit, yeah. And in the middle, you got a Brummie.
Gary, I have to tell you, my dad's lineage goes back 200 years, and for 200 years, it's all Birmingham. So I'm with you, brother.
Yeah.
But this is what happens. Wherever you go in the world, you're never more than a couple of feet away from a Brummie, are you?
Why do they call Birmingham the curry capital of the world?
Because it is.
But you know, the city of Birmingham has the same total population as the country of Portugal.
It does, yes.
Oh, okay.
There you go. And that's what I love about it. I've been to Birmingham and I love Birmingham. Actually.
Oh, I've heard great things about the food over there. I've heard it's as authentic as it gets.
It's
in India or Pakistan.
When you travel to Manchester, when you travel to Leeds, the multicultural societies and the food and everybody, the people that surround in all those multicultural societies, that's what makes communities. To me, that's what
you'll like this. You'll like this. Nina lived in Birmingham. My wife lived in Birmingham for 15 years, and she prefers Manchester.
Yeah, yeah. And Manchester is blue, of course, right?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Every single.
Yes, come on. Manchester is blue. Get in. See, I'm pumped, Frank. Manchester's blue.
Yeah, but you know, I need to deal with this now. You know, now that you're a successful team, Manchester, the Blues are going to have a lot more supporters that aren't from Manchester, and in years to come, you're going to be the national, like with the Far East supporters, and Manchester United will be the local team again. I think maybe.
If you look at the brand, the Man City brand that it's growing to be, there are what. They've now got 9 teams under the belt from all over the world, so it has become a global product. And I've been a fan for over 30. I've been there for over 30 years following them, and I can see that.
Players growing up, just to say.
Yeah, but the thing is, don't you guys believe? Don't you guys believe it's what it comes down to is the academies and the players? Because the thing is that City have spent a lot of money on one of the first things that they've spent the Sheikh, he has spent like 1.5 billion, and a lot of the money has gone towards these academies, right? And the players that they bring up, they've got like this player Foden, who's up now. He's an academy player, right, Owen? Phil Foden.
He was. Iniesta. Yeah.
Okay, and then you guys had Sancho as well, who we are trying to get right now. I think it's until the time City does not field 4 or 5 academy players in its first team. City.
Right. Okay. I will say to you then, watch last night's Carabao Cup. Watch the game from last night. Watch the Carabao Cup game from last night.
Yeah,
because that's exactly what they did. Because Kyle Walker was the captain, and there were 3 other first-team players playing. So if you watch the game and to say that they won last night, they played the academy players, about 4 or 5 players.
City could field 3 teams that would finish in the top half of the Premier League. You know,
easily. I mean, one of the scorers, the scorer of the first goal last night was a former Stoke player, Rory Delatt.
Reading that comment. Would you like to run through the fields of wheat?
I love it.
I just had another Guinness delivered, so we're good to go, boys.
If we finish at midnight, Doug is going to have to start using the men's toilets again because it's Saturday.
So long.
Maybe that's what he's so long.
I think the Balti is a black country and Birmingham origination, isn't it?
Carl, can you say black country?
Oh, God. Owen, if I've offended you, I'm so sorry.
No, you know what I'm on about.
I do.
I can't say that. How was that, Gary?
Sorry.
Yes, I know. Black country lives matter. Yay! Best food. I don't know. What did I miss? I came back and you're talking about football. Come on.
Yeah, of course we were talking about football.
When you leave, Cole.
I know.
We revert to type.
Yeah, but it is. I mean, just talking about that, the whole thing with all the money that's gone into that. I see that the money that's gone into it, but I've also been at the side where I've been going, come on, are we going to win something? Are we going to win something? And when we did, which is the only top I've not worn tonight, this is when we won the league for the first time in 40 years. And that meant a lot to me as a City fan. But I've seen it change. You know what I mean? I see it changing. And I have less of, obviously, since coming to Portugal, I don't go to the games anymore. I watch them as much as I can, but I'm not that much of a follower as I was, you know, when I was younger.
Oh, Owen, don't you feel as a football fan of a big club, the standard is Champions League? You need to win Champions League.
Yeah.
That is always the standard.
That's the highest status you can get, isn't it?
You need to be in it.
You know, within football is to win your Champions League, the Brazilian Cup. You know what I mean? It's all those things, isn't it? The African Nations Cup. It's for your countries to win that. You know, in the UK, you've got the European Championships, which is a bit mad because of the time that you play in the Premier League, in the Champions League, or the UEFA Cup or whatever else. Because there's that many games, there's not much focus on the big tournaments as such. So, as far as the Premiership clubs go, I would say Premier League. Your next step then is the Champions League, because you can't go any further than that. Because nationally, for me, the players are too tired to play those kind of competitions because of the intensity of the games that they're playing in between.
Do you think they're too tired though? Seriously, they're like professional athletes.
It's changing because of the academies that clubs have now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you can field younger players. And I think that will change in the years to come.
Mm.
But, you know, going over the past 3 or 4 years, a very, very difficult thing to do, because you really literally only had maybe 20 players that you could rely on. Where now teams are looking at, you can field, you know, a full 20, you you could switch a whole
boys,
team.
while we've been talking about football, there are 1 or 2 interesting comments that have come up. Carl, do you care to read those 2 comments that just came up?
I've got a theory that Carl is Duke.
No, I promise you I'm not. I know. How could we've never been seen in the same room together. Me and Duke.
I've never seen you together.
What is it? What is the mad love with European football? Why do you think Americans just don't get it? I think Frank's the best man to answer that after a big
Is
mouth.
Charles American?
I don't know where Charles is. I think Charles. I'm not sure. Forgive me, Charles. Remind us where you find yourself and what your origin is, if you don't mind.
Americans do get it, don't they? I thought that, you know, it's like the fastest growing sport.
But it's still a market that's not it's still a market that's not been penetrated as yet. It's a huge market. The problem is it's a huge market, but it will never go beyond basketball, baseball, and American football.
Because that's their national sport.
But it's a core sports that are taught in the schools and colleges there, though, isn't it, Frank?
Mm-hmm. There's a bigger market. Here's the cultural difference. There's a bigger market for college football and college basketball. So they would rather watch amateurs play than professionals play, and there's a bigger market for that.
Yeah.
Superb.
Yeah. Baseball
Charles
will never be England's national sport.
Yeah,
or
quite.
Basketball, you know, it's not. It's just what it is, isn't it? You know.
The difference is it's the flow of these sports. What happens is American sports are all about stop and start, and we whoever watches a lot of European sports, it's all about the flow of the game.
Talking of which, Duke has to stand a name into.
Told you. See, I told you.
There was it's like a prostate metaphor. It's like it's all stop and start.
Can we really take a look at the name here and what Doug Hewers could mean, or is it like? Are we going? Is it like a Q? Do you think it's a Q drop? A bit of code coming in. It's a Q drop, everybody. He was talking about the. He's gone. He's gone. All right. Yes, he's from America. Charles is originally from Boston and wants to know what the appeal is. Not like football, then, Charles. Is that?
Boston is an amazing sports city.
Yeah, with 1 minute to go, fellas, I think that's a can of worms for next week, and we have the Balti mystery to solve. I'm nuts about ball. I didn't write that. That's Doug on his own doing that. I'm nuts about
You wrote that, Carl.
It sounds like me. I know
Carl
it sounds.
Doug Cures.
Balti was Pakistani. I think Balti means bucket, doesn't it? Or it's the receptacle.
Yeah, it does.
It's the receptacle. Yeah. Okay. And Ben, who's been with us all night, bless him, hanging out with some old giffers. Wasn't the Balti made in Birmingham? Yeah, and I think the origin is the in the Black Country.
You know what the origin of that Balti dish actually is. It's what they did. What the restaurant owners did, shady restaurant owners did, is whatever, like let's say the chicken tikka or the grilled items that they could not sell the day before. What they would do the next day, they would make a curry and they'd cut that up and they would throw it in there and they would call it a Balti. Basically, they would have all that chicken in the Balti and they would cook up a stew, and that was the Balti chicken.
Fair enough.
Recycling.
Special fried rice is the same, isn't it? Special fried rice for the Chinese restaurants. How are we going to get rid of all this old stuff that's going off? We'll stick it in the special fried rice. And I say that I own that as with my Asian culture and background. I said stand a name, not dribble a la prostate. That will come up one as it won't come up. It'll probably slowly dribble out, but. We will probably be talking about gentlemen's problems of that kind here on the Expat Man Cave in future.
Carl,
yeah.
Listen, in England, we have a food recycling bin. What should we call that dish? If
Special fried rice.
Just
add some rice. Put some
McDonald's.
Boil some rice. That wasn't a Chinese racist joke, was it, Henry?
No.
What was that? Chuck bin in? Is it?
I actually said go much more west for your xenophobic comments.
Just as we go into the very dangerous territory, I think it's time to say good night and head.
Speech.
Yeah, right on. as we go into that dangerous frisson there of far right extremism, let us say good night and farewell to you amazing Bonnoit, to you lovely men, you wonderful men who joined us this evening. What a fantastic!
Good job, boys. Great job.
A great evening. 2 hours of the Expat Man Cave. We'll be back again to hang out, as it were, like an old testicle hanging from a dressing gown.
Stop!
You had to go there. You had to go there, Carl.